there's a picture that, when the drivers drop off the bag, they have to take the picture to confirm that you got it. So Ticket pulled up the picture, and it's just him in the door with a Chick-fil-A.
It's like the paparazzi shot up.
Yeah, he's just like this.
He was in like gross sweatpants too, and like an old sweatshirt.
Yeah.
He's trying to eat,
It was like
man.
Princeton lacrosse or something, like an alumni sweater that you never been to the school, but it was just passed down from somebody. Got one more question. This one's going to you, Leon. Yeah. In all seriousness, be dead honest.
Yeah.
Where do you think you go? Like, where do you think we go when we die?
Do you want the honest answer?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I believe.
We've had this
I'm
conversation.
saying I believe, like, I grew up with I believe in heaven and hell, but I also believe that there's a very high possibility that it's just, you just go to sleep and there's just darkness.
It's just black.
Like, I'm a big,
I get that.
I'm a big, like, do you remember before you were born? Do you remember before?
No, that's what it is. Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know. Who knows? Nobody knows.
I get it.
Binyamin's heaven is wicked.
You know what?
I think everybody's gonna do a couple years downstairs.
No.
No, that's called purgatory.
What is that?
It's like the waiting area.
But I think so. If you're good,
Yeah, it's like a waiting room.
Waiting room.
It's a waiting
Saying
room.
that if you're good,
I might be waiting a long time, dog.
You go to heaven.
I wouldn't say if you're good outweighs the bad. I just think overall, if you're just a good person, at the end of the day, if you were just a good person and did right by people, you'll win, no matter how many mistakes.
But I
you
think
do.
it's like baseball. Like, you got to do a stint in the minors, and then for all the sins, and then you get.
Yeah, that's the waiting room. It's
Now
purgatory.
remember,
So then I'm a believer in
if
that.
you get put into AA, sometimes that's better than AAA.
Yeah,
Just keep that in mind.
Jordan rides the bus. Did you watch that documentary?
Sure did.
Yeah.
Sure did.
What?
Terry Francona was the manager.
I got one more question, and then we can move on. Ticket, what would you say is your biggest fear in life? Like, what really, really aches at you? Eats at you.
What am I most afraid to happen in my life, or what am I already afraid of?
Anything.
Either or. What's your biggest fear?
Disappointing the jet.
Yeah.
That's not true. Like, give us a real fear.
Go deeper.
My biggest fear is just being an utter failure in your eyes.
Oh my God. In mine?
Yeah.
Oh, Tick. You'll never.
Many years
be a
he's
failure
thought
in
that
mine.
Bob was not happy with him.
He's
He
still.
said a nutter. He said
Yeah.
he said a nutter failure.
I want to do well for you.
That's awesome. That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
You want to do well for
No,
me?
I don't like that answer at all.
I don't.
Oh, what's wrong with that
I was
answer?
joking
Don't
about Bob
put your-
specifically. I want to do well for those who count on me, and my biggest fear,
fair.
is coming up short for those who count on me.
That's a good answer.
Great.
I like
That's
that.
really, really good.
I like that.
Do you know what my biggest fear is? Dying. I feel
Really?
like I don't want to die.
What do you
Jet's
say?
biggest fear is a 100-person surprise birthday party.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Any kind of surprise party for you, in your
know.
honor.
Yeah.
Oh,
When
he'd be
Kutsy's
livid.
mom came down with that cake at Kutsy's
It was
house.
a wonderful thing that she
It
did.
was.
It was.
Of course it was. He is a sicko, so he hated every bit of it. And
He told me low key he
No, I thought it was
appreciated
super nice. I don't like eyeballs on me. Like, I don't need people looking at me. That's
Well,
the thing.
you
And when
got-
you bring a cake in front of somebody and you start singing, everybody starts looking.
do you think you're a star?
No, I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
I think you're a star.
I think everybody has their their role.
Yeah. All right.
That's what we do.
Well, without further ado, that's
know?
been a fireside chat with Bob Does Sports, and that's actually not the end of the episode. Today, we are going to get into. Let's start off talking about Breezy Invitational. And Joey D, if you don't mind, I'd love to start us off because I got a few things I'd like to say. You
Go
like
ahead.
that?
Yeah.
Cool. I thought that was by far, bar none. I think the first Miami, all of the Breezy Invitationals have been great. They really have, and I mean that. The first Miami one, the first one we did, top was the best. But that Chicago one we just took it over and just raised the bar. To me, that was the most fun that I have ever had doing a Breezy Invitational. Yay or nay?
Yeah, I would agree. I also think it was the best course that we've ever worked with. in the sense that like the academy that we had to work with for the pre-party or the range session and the like the to start everything out was really well done. 27 holes. I thought we had more activation sites and food and different things that we had to offer the golfers than we've ever had before. And I think like after this is the fourth one now, so like I think it's starting to become like a smooth, well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
In terms like we don't run these things, thankfully, because it would be atrocious.
Sure would.
But we have a great team behind us, and we have a lot of very skilled people. I will say the only thing is the 27 holes. That was a gauntlet, and I would say going back to 18 just to shorten the day up, because as much fun as was had, there were guys at the end of the day, they were like just crawling to the hole. So that being said, it was amazing. The after party was electric. FP hitting a hole in one. I mean, like
Insane.
you can't script that. Someone proposing. I wouldn't suggest future proposals being brought to the Bob DeSports.
Well, we'll have
tournament.
No, we
I don't
will.
know
We
if that's the most-
sure we would. Sure.
I mean, okay. I mean, she said yes, so we're a 1-for-1 rate. It's 100% rate for engagements. So I was just saying that, like, the after party, the cool thing is for me is we had a lot of people there, and it felt like everyone stayed, even like the people who knew that they weren't going to win, like everyone stayed till the bitter end, and it was like electric in there. I mean, we didn't leave till what, almost like 10 o'clock at night. Like it was a party, man. It was a good time.
Yeah, and you know what? To be honest with you, I thought some people, and they really weren't from what I got, I thought some people might be upset for Grant, the Busted Jack guys, for winning the tournament. It was actually really cool to show that they came, and it was nice to know there was no bullshit in their score. You know what I mean? Like,
And they only won by one, I think.
They won by
shot,
one.
Like 29 under in 27 holes.
by the way, I would, if we had
I
another
believe it, yeah.
Oh, that I totally believe them. But the previous winner saying that they were one stroke short of them, I'd like to look into that.
Yeah.
I'd like to look into that.
A lot of people.
I saw the cuts. I would like to take a look. Am I wrong, Poppy?
Well, the one guy could not get over it. So there was 4 of them in their crew, and the other 3, when they got back, they started partying, they having fun. You know what? We lost.
Yeah.
Who better to lose to than Grant? The one guy
Oh, the blue dude.
could not. Like I saw
Duke?
him even as we were leaving, and he was like, "Man, I can't believe it." I was like, "Yeah, well, have a
He was
drink."
counting. He was like thinking of which
He
putt
came
they
to me
missed
and he
that,
was like,
blew
if
it
you could
for
send
him.
us to the next one. I was like, whoa.
What'd you say to?
He came up to me and he was like, yo, if you guys could just find a way to get us to the next one. I'm like, I could tell you a way. You could buy a ticket
I was gonna say
and
yeah,
come to Miami.
golf.com. I heard multiple people say it was the best golf event they've been to.
Yeah.
So
It's
I
a
was
fun
happy
fest.
that everybody had a really good time, and I think we discovered that the most important part of the whole thing is the first 2 hours on the range.
Oh, yeah.
You have the venue was like so perfect for it that like the music was bumping, people were like drinking, like, and then that like sets the tone for the whole event. So I like we just got to keep aiming for places like that because it's sick.
I'll be honest. That's I mean, we talked about it. That is my favorite part is mingling with everybody when everybody's all together before we go out. And then, another thing too. There's a big pressure, at least that. I mean, I'm sure you guys feel. I definitely feel it. Is that people are paying a lot of money for the event. You know that their travel accommodations, all of that. It's a lot. When you look at it, and when you look at the tournament, when you look at all the food, when you look at the unlimited booze, and then you look at even the night before having the 5-iron event, which is open bar, and a whole nother night, I really do feel like it's justified, which is a good feeling because we want to give fans that. We're very aware that it's not cheap, so you want to make it worth it. And to me, when people are coming by and saying how great it is, how fun they're having, it's a very rewarding thing.
I think if you're on the fence, I know a lot of people have been on the fence about it for a while, just with just the traveling and the price and what it is. I think when they saw a lot of people seeing what went down at this one and like how crazy it went on social media and how good time it has, I think a lot of people are going to be like, okay, like we got to give it a shot.
Yeah. And that video will probably, by the time we got 2 weeks maybe till that video releases.
October 9th or 10th.
Yeah. So, and it'll be a cooler video to where it's the overview, and then we have us playing as well. So it's a little bit of a mix and match.
That was a lot of fun.
By the way, that was, you want to talk about one of the best rounds ever?
Yeah.
That was the day before the Breeze Invitational.
There's not much more that brings me like joy than like when we do these 5-man scrambles and like Jet or Poppy like pop off and make like a big time. Like it's so self-gratifying. It's so fun, and like we all just lose our shit. And I'm not gonna say anything to give anything away, but like when there's a big moment, there's gonna be a big moment. It is electrifying, and it's so freaking fun because like we don't get them in the videos that much, and when it does, I want, especially like when the tick comes in the video, I want him to make a shot. He's so hard on himself. Like the entire time he'll make a shot, he'll be like, I stink. I'm fucking the worst. I'm terrible. And then when he makes a big shot, it's just like he soaks it in like a sponge. And it's just it is incredible.
Yeah, Ticket's having his moments, man. Ticket is just growing into stardom.
Yeah, he really is. I read. Do you remember? I don't know if we told the story.
All
When we were in Scotland, and we were just walking the street. Me, Tick, and you. And these guys came up and they were Scottish or whatever.
Awesome.
And they were like, oh, you want to, they asked for a picture or whatever. And then they're like, Poppy. They're like, the Poppy's got to get in. He's the Poppy. And then he got in. And that was when the Poppy went international.
They asked for the ticket. Then Ticket kind of like faded away. And they're like, no, Poppy, come in here, Poppy.
I think he's a star. His Postmates stuff went off. Everybody's coming up asking about Postmates.
The whole time in Chicago, that's all people would talk to me.
You should actually contact me.
So either way,
They were like, you gotta get them to be sponsored, and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't think they're looking to get rid of their best customer. Bring them on board for some free Postmates.
yo, there's a picture of Ticket, and we got to put it up.
yeah.
Is right after the Postmates thing comes out about just how much Postmates Ticket orders. You know,
Holes in it.
Yeah, it is, dude. When they take that picture of you, it's the worst. There's some of me where I'm just like,
You don't have
Well, they just take the picture of when they drop
they
it off
put it on the door.
oh no.
COVID, since
Yeah, you
COVID,
can put no
once
contact.
COVID started, there
Yeah.
became a no contact option, which we hit every time, and they just leave it at your door and they walk away.
They got to take that picture for documentation for
Yes.
Postmates, and sometimes if you get a little eager,
Yes, that's what happened with you. You
walk
opened
out
it,
there while
and
he's
then you
still
hear like
in the
the
I was
process.
eager for that
That's-
biscuit.
You know,
Yeah.
You know what's horrifying for me is sometimes the drivers for me in my building, they get confused, and the first set of stairs goes up to my left, goes to my patio. So it's pretty clear that you should go straight ahead up the stairs. But some of them take the left up my stairs and walk through my patio. So every time I order Postmates, which is all the time, I'm frightened because you don't know if they're just gonna pop up on the door and look
Why
in.
don't you put in the delivery instructions?
I do, but not everybody gets it. So there was one time where a guy came up and I looked to the left and he was just right there with the bags. It was fucking horrifying.
that is horrifying.
Yeah.
You know what I don't understand about deliveries and
Sure.
not just for food is what determines if something needs a signature or not? Because we have ordered thousands of dollars worth of camera that get dropped off on my porch, and then I've gotten like a Breezy Polo show up, and like I get the sticker on the door 3 days in a row because
That's
I wasn't
Breezy,
there
baby.
to drop it off. And it's what constitutes
High quality goods there.
what constitutes a signature?
The send. I think it's. I could be wrong, but I think it's the sender. The sender decides whether
Yeah.
or not that you
Got
need
it.
to sign
It's
for.
it's insane because we're never home, so I just come home to stickers every time we come back from a trip.
You know what I keep doing to Jet is
Oh, this is an all-time.
is if like somebody asks like an influencer like asks like to send their new merch line or something that I know I don't want, I
Yeah.
just send it to Jet's apartment. so anything.
Pickford office.
But he does it in the funny, like he gets. It's like a game now. I'm usually good at this. I'm like usually aware, but he'll hit me up and he'll be like, "Our flight got canceled. Like our flight to Florida has been canceled, and I need your address to like rebook." So I'll fire him my address, and then he'll send me a screenshot of a brand asking like what address to send. And he'll just go, "You played yourself." it's respect. I've gotten banged with it, and then I get a couple days later I get a box that has no business being in
Do
my
you ever
apartment.
get any good stuff?
No, it's all the bullshit. Like it's all like the tchotchkes. Like it's all it's the nonsense.
Bob keeps the good stuff. Bob,
Carbone sauce.
No, I've gotten
stay with
I've gotten some
Robert.
stuff from Bob that I've just not told him that was like I've just given him the stuff
Yeah, you've
that
had-
came that's extra. So I've gotten like a lot of clothes out of it and like different things. But yeah, every once in a while like some like a ShamWow will show up or something or whatever they call it. And I'm like, where's this coming from?
I won't say what it is, but there's an influencer that we always kind of like have a bit about, and they hit me up to send some stuff, and they sent him the most ridiculous thing.
Yeah, it was a
And
full
that's
box.
when I sent him a screenshot. I was like, "You played yourself."
Yeah. And it's a screenshot of like the influencer, the brand being like, "Yo, bro, like just hit me with an address and I'll send you like whatever you want." And then he puts my address directly underneath it.
Meanwhile, Joey D does not send it to Jets. Joey D is living in a FedEx. If you walk into
Yeah,
Joey
there's a lot of
D's
boxes
house,
right now.
it is chaos of just boxes and fireball shooters.
Well, Nicole's helped me move a lot of that out of the way. It used to be really bad.
Yeah.
I do have currently carbone sauces being delivered and Haagen-Dazs as well. Which I'm really
nice
excited.
You
stuff.
can hit Joe up with any
Anything.
company you have. If you're a napkin company and you sell special napkins, he'll be like, yeah, fire it on over. Bazooka gum.
He got his accountant from his DMs.
Shout out LJ. He's done a hell of a job too. He's done a really hell of a job, man. Saved me a lot of money in income tax this last year. He's a great guy. But no, I do like receiving boxes, especially like when you have several things that are being sent over and you lose track what's coming, and then it's like
Oh, yeah, it's
you've
like
just
Christmas
received a shipment.
I can imagine.
The thing that sucks, and look, I mean, nobody feels bad for us, but I do hate with having the boxes. It's like, what do you? That's why I don't use Amazon all the time. Like, I just hate having the box.
I don't like Amazon.
Why not?
Whoa.
I think it stinks.
Really?
What?
I don't use Amazon.
It's a wild take.
Why?
I don't like it. I don't. I just.
You're
I,
gonna have
I
to give a reason. You sound like me.
I think it's overhyped. I think I tried to go buy a Packers jersey the other day. Searched on Amazon, nothing. It was like a
Yeah.
barren wasteland. I
That's not
couldn't
really where you
find
wanna
an
be
Aaron
going for
Jones.
Packer jersey.
No, but I'm saying that's just one thing. It's like I think it's overrated. I don't think it's that good.
That's because
It's like going to the NFL store for $9.
And you know what? I'm kind of. What did he say? Going to the NFL store for what?
for knives.
It's like going to Fanatics for cutlery.
But no, my point too is also I'm a little bit
Rubin.
old school. I actually like to go shopping and like try things on.
You're a big mall guy.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
to go to like Century
like the
City,
mall.
Westfield Mall.
Yeah,
that is
that
a
shit's
nice
awesome.
time.
That's a
You
great
walk through there. It's open air, nice stores. Maybe you go look at a watch that you can't afford. I like it. I don't
Well, you
like
can't afford it,
sending
then
shit
maybe
to
you
my
can.
house. I don't like to be cooped up in the house all the time.
That's my favorite thing.
You know why you like that Century City Mall?
Why?
It's not the clothes. It's the Din Tai Fung.
Din Tai Fung's good, yeah.
Joey
You
loves
know what else is
Din
there is
Tai Fung.
Javier.
Sure is.
Oh.
Sure is.
Javier's is great.
I only go to Javier's in Newport.
Yeah,
well,
you
you're
do.
bougie like that.
Yeah, dude. With
No, but I will
Boasa.
say, like, going back, like, not losing track, I like to, like, if you order something on Amazon, you can't try it on. You don't know if it
That's
fits.
true.
You don't
Clothes-
know.
clothes are-
like,
clothes
clothes are a no for me. And then, like, I don't know, unless it's, like, ordering something that I have no desire to go get, like, I don't know, like envelopes or some shit like that. Like, I just don't have any use for Amazon.
But Amazon, the thing with Amazon is they come in clutch. If you're in the middle of not the middle of nowhere, but if you're like on a trip, we've ordered stuff that have come the next day. They deliver fast, especially if you have Prime. They'll get you
Also,
fast.
the Amazon
anywhere.
Prime football, I don't know if it is like this year because I haven't used it yet, but the one that I had from last year, it was on like a massive tape delay. So like it was like
'cause it's
one or two
streaming.
plays
It was.
behind.
It's streaming,
And I'm
yeah.
like, dude, I'm seeing on my phone the plays that are happening. Like Amazon's got to be better.
That's
Well,
a big
but they're-
problem with streaming in general.
Yours was double bang.
It was way worse.
Yeah, for some
and I
reason.
tried like signing out and using someone else's account. It just I couldn't get past it. So Amazon, I'm not saying it's bad. It just ain't for me, dog.
The Amazon Thursday Night Football production value, though, their pregame and everything,
Very well done.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
They're the
Well,
best
Al
one going.
Michaels is the GOAT.
But even just they do this whole pregame of what the team was doing, like practice on Monday. They lead you up to the
They
game.
also do.
They do a great job.
Don't they have a separate stream like the analytics stream with?
Yeah,
which,
they
which
do.
is like I wouldn't call it analytics because we're not big analytic guys. But they have like the cool. I don't know what you'd call it.
You
They're
know-
showing like how fast guys are running and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Fast
that's
guys?
yeah.
How
You
fast
know what?
guys are running.
Oh, okay.
When
You know-
Aaron Donald runs through the A gap,
You know
he's
what-
coming in at the force of a freight train.
Saquon Barkley cuts at the force of a Mack truck.
You know what they're doing this weekend, and I think I'm gonna watch it. Is for the first time ever, Disney is doing a Toy Story NFL
Yeah, I'm out.
production.
I'm out. I'm out.
So they have the
I'm out,
players
I'm out,
as
I'm out.
Toy Story, like characters during the game. You're watching the game, but it's animated as so. Like Jalen Hurts, he'll like run and he's running down,
But he's a toy, Bob.
he's an animated toy.
That sounds awful.
I think
You know,
it
what happened to
sounds
football
really
being
cool.
football?
They're
Like
trying to make it fun for the whole family.
that's you know what? I don't hate that, but I won't be watching it.
I think it's cool how they can synchronize an animation in real
They
life
must-
time.
They did that with the They did it with Nickelodeon.
You're gonna
Slime.
That, no, when in the playoffs.
That was the
they,
slime
they had
game.
or whatever.
You're
Yeah.
gonna be like that old school. Like you're gonna be like my dad. Like my dad. You can't
Absolutely.
even mention the NBA because he'll just be like, nowadays in the NBA, like that's whoa. And you, come on,
Hey, who set this up?
Speaking of nowadays, they ain't build mics like they used to.
Nicky,
Damn,
that's
dude.
Nicky Cocktails, dude.
Rip that out
You
of its
believe
socket.
this guy's
Oh,
mic?
that is
just zero,
bang
mic,
job.
zero
Whoa.
mic presence.
Watch the cord there, though.
Cord now is rapping.
Oh, we're all out of
this
whack
is-
now. We're all out of whack.
The camera's on.
Wow.
Oh,
There we
no.
go.
Now it's so tight on that
There we
camera,
go.
on that cord.
Wrapped.
We're okay.
Oh wow, a wire.
What were we talking about
We're talking about how you're an old man when you refer to sports.
You are.
and
You're gonna
stuff.
be like my dad. Like, you
yeah,
know,
I'm a big
shout out
like,
my dad. I know I'm gonna get a call, but it's true. It's like he like
One of the
nowadays.
One of the funniest things is when, and I used to be part of that. I still am. Is when you talk about how like old NBA players, like you were saying, like in the '90s. but these guys wouldn't be able to compete in that. It's like name the most random NBA player. Just name a
Kevin McHale.
No. From now, like Kelly Oubre, okay, would score 61 points if he played in the 80s. Like that's like
I
What
love
about
that.
Nick
Dude,
Van
there's-
Exel?
I'm saying,
Sure.
well, yeah, but these guys are just
a little
so
more
much
packed.
more athletic now, and that's why the whole like MJ LeBron thing, by the way, which I'm firmly in the MJ court, but he was just the first of his kind.
You don't think Jerry West could guard?
Yeah, I'll tell you
Steph?
what. He wouldn't be the logo if he played now. Okay, and if Raymond Felton played in the '80s, he'd be the logo.
By the way,
He'd be like, we've never seen anything like it.
What?
You don't believe? You disagree with me?
I get it.
I'm saying
It would just
yeah,
be the logo. The logo would just be a picture
Yeah.
of a guy on a bench.
Oh, yeah. But he wouldn't be on the bench. He'd be fucking.
With the water bottle.
He would just be, dude. He would be
Crossing
Jerry
the water
West.
bottle.
Just a stream coming from
Yeah,
telling
no,
you,
I
he-
love the
he-
bet.
He'd
I think it's
be
a great
Jerry
bet.
West. He would have been the best
as
player.
funny as it is, I actually think there's some truth to it.
Of course.
Yeah, I really do. By the way, speaking of NBA players who attended the Breezy, we had one attend the Breezy Invitational.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Alex Caruso is our fourth. He's our fourth.
Yeah.
He's an absolute beauty.
I was gonna say, and he would be the logo too if he played it. He dunks now. Imagine him throwing down a dunk in 1980 over somebody. They'd lose their shit.
There's a picture
good
that I
golfer,
have.
too.
I'm telling you, I'm not joking. I'm doing the Poppy collage where it's just a picture of
Wow.
Poppy with like different celebrities, and that's all it is.
Zoomed
I
in.
got him and Caruso. I got him and Manziel on the green.
Don't you have him and Rom?
I got one of him and Rom, and then there's more. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm
More to
doing the
come.
Poppy, I'm doing the Poppy collage.
Alex Caruso is the man though. He rolled into the pre-party at 5-iron, and he just kind of like was in the background, like camouflaging in.
That was the coolest thing about him was that he was so not like I'm Alex Caruso. He was such a real one. He was just there to say hi. If someone else wanted to come up and talk to you guys, he like totally backed off,
Yeah,
let other
yeah.
people come in. He was a real one,
was the
man.
man,
He was
and
he
he's a
was
good
the
Golfer
man.
too. His group was hilarious. There was this. It was him, the equipment manager, like I think a physio guy. Arnold was hysterical. Well, I was calling him Arnie. This guy was sitting back and he wasn't saying anything, and they're all talking, and I'm like, I tell you who the real dart thrower is. It's Arnie over here, the silent assassin. And then he came out of nowhere. We did a shot, and he was electric. They were a fun group. He told me he had an absolute blast.
Yeah.
He said it was some of the most fun he's ever had. Yeah,
Oh,
he
that's
messaged me after, and he's like, that was as fun as I've had in a long time.
Bro, he has an NBA rink. People forget that.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
The
he
Lakers,
does.
right?
I believe so,
Yeah.
Bubble champion.
Do you know who I want to get in on the next Breezy Invitational? Who we met in what was the name of that restaurant in Tahoe? Perez always knows it. The golden.
No, that was
flapper
the-
or something like.
Ah,
the bird.
fuck.
no.
Perez.
Oh,
would
the
know it
beaver?
Like that.
The
lucky beaver.
Lucky beaver.
Oh, well,
Mike Vrabel.
Alex Killorn.
Oh yeah.
Well, Alex
yeah, yeah.
Killorn's awesome.
That guy is.
Well, he can now too because he's playing for the Ducks, so he lives in Orange County now.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
already
but-
asked. He said that we
depends where
should
the breezy
golf.
Depends where the breezy is.
Oh, for a breezy, but I'm saying
Yeah.
we could just. He's by the way, he's a stick.
Sure is.
He sent me a video of him at Augusta almost making a hole in one. Like
Yeah,
it
I
almost,
saw that
it
you
basically
showed
like lipped out. He's legit.
We were at the Lucky Beaver with him. He was winning the Lake Tahoe tournament, and he talked to me. He had to play with Steph Curry the next day, so he was talking about how nervous he was to play with Curry because it attracts such a crowd. So in his matchup the next day, I bet against him,
Oh,
and he totally bombed. And I told him I was going to bet
that's
against him.
sick.
I told him I was going to bet against him.
Sick. Did you bet on a matchup in
Sure did.
Lake
Oh.
Tahoe
Yeah, I sure did.
against a guy who's
Faded.
in our corner?
I
That
faded him.
day-
He was so nervous. He told me he was nervous. I said, I'm going to bet against him.
That
Yeah.
day, Steph Curry made a hole in one, much like Nick Stubbe made a hole in one at the Breezy Invitational.
My nice transition, Yums.
Thank you.
That was fucking. Perez called me, and we were at the breezy, and it was kind of like winding down. And he called me. I'm like, why the fuck is he calling me?
Yeah.
And he's like, I made a hole in one, Bob. I'm like, fuck you. No, you didn't.
I was
that
with Jet
was-
when he sent Jen a
I was
message.
inside. Yeah, I had a missed call from him,
And
and
then-
then I texted him back like, "What's up?" And he just goes, "I made a hole in one," and I was like, "FP made a hole in one." And the next text was, "Keep it on the DL."
Well, Jet looked at me. He's like, "FP made a hole in one." By the way, I saw him 15 minutes ago and he couldn't stand. So
Yeah,
take it for what you will.
FP was like, we got out there during the day. Me and the ticket were kind of just driving around, just filming a few holes, like messing around. And we got to FP's hole pretty early on. It was what, like 3-4 hours in to a 40-hour event, and he was and he was telling us, he's like, yeah, I'm just drinking, like, I just Jack and Coke or whatever. And he was like feeling himself. And then I guess he just dunked one
Well,
in.
but bro, remember I left you at the very end? I was like, all right, I think we need to get a little bit more footage
Right.
of FB's hole. I went there, and it was times 10.
Oh yeah, so okay.
This guy was gone.
Yeah, and then people
And
Really?
and then eventually I get to the point where like, all right, I got enough coverage here. He can't talk. I'm gonna head back to Bob's hole, and then I ended up just going in because the event ended.
And Bob couldn't talk either.
And Bob couldn't talk either.
You were wearing.
Literally, I left for 5 minutes, and then the news of that
Dude,
hole
imagine
in one.
you had
people
on
were
camera.
running.
I know.
There was like one video.
Regretful.
People were running around like there's one video like so this one video is like circulating. We put it on social media. It exploded like that night. And then like the next day or day or two later, I'm seeing like alternate angles are like popping up of different places.
Our guy Dougie from the golf.
Yeah, Dougie.
Shout out.
Dougie,
out Dougie,
did
dude.
some investigative journalism.
Teach me
and
how
I
to
saw.
Dougie.
I actually need that angle from him. And yeah, it was just pretty crazy. Like FP just running through the fairway, yelling "good for us." Like it
It's the
just,
best.
yeah, it was.
He's
It was one of the
so-
wilder things to ever happen. I think.
He's so drunk in it. He's so intoxicated in it, and it's gold.
I
was
saw
so-
Bob and I was like, Bob, I think FP made a hole in one. I looked at you, you were wearing a Cantini
No,
maroon Texas
Yeah.
A&M
was
colored
so funny.
T-shirt, and you couldn't even look straight. And I was like, don't worry about it.
yeah.
Just don't even worry
When
about
did
it.
that happen? You just
He had
pulled up-
two different polos and then ended up in a Cantini.
Yeah, when he went out there, he was wearing a red polo.
Yeah.
Came by him 4 hours later, was
Blue.
wearing a black polo. Then came at the end, saw him. He's just wearing a standard Cantini golf course
Red one,
I was
yeah.
like, where did he
shirt.
get? It was like maroon, like Texas colored. It was like a Texas Longhorn shirt. Just said
This
Tech
guy had
Cantini
more
on it.
wardrobe changes.
And I looked
than
at him, I'm like, what is
Jennifer
that? He's like,
Lopez,
Taylor
dude.
Swift.
Yeah.
I didn't even ask it. I just looked. I was like, all right. Like,
I looked at him. I'm like, what's that? He's like, that's all you need to know. I was like, all right, so I'll keep it moving.
Was there a like?
I think
there
you
a puke
probably
situation?
someone had. Did you were
Was there a
drenched?
spill or a puke?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember getting.
Oh
okay.
my
All right.
God!
I don't have much recollection of getting the shirt.
If you make anything around Bob, he just will like snap up and just like he smells like of possible video views, and he just like fucking disgusting.
Well, fart on leather's much different than a fart anywhere else, dude. It's different. It's got a different rang to it.
Sick. What, fart on leather.
on leather, dude.
Who took a fucking nuclear shit in here.
Yeah, that
before
shit
It was a boomer.
Boom, baby. Boom, baby. I walked into the pod room and I'm like, why does it smell like dog shit?
Dude. Hey, Cutty goes,
It was like
Got
something. It was like
dude.
it was a
Every time-
stench.
Every time Tick comes to my apartment, he drops a fucking.
He did that on the last
nuclear
time we did a pod.
bomb, dude. It's like he gets out of the house and it's like that's his time to take the shit. So he isn't around.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
no.
It's like he like gets it out and he just puts a fucking load into one, man.
Yeah.
Put back into it.
But the farts are the part. How about on the last video, Ticket's pants ripping because he's got that case, dude.
He's got that Raymond Felton ass.
Raymond's getting a lot of
Oh,
love.
he's got that Larry Fitzgerald ass.
No, that's
He's caked up.
bro. That's a
That thing is. It's got its own area code.
What do you think the biggest
It is.
biggest male asses we've seen in Bob Does Sports? Poppy,
Fitzgerald.
Larry David would count.
Said Larry.
You did say Larry David. I did hear you say that. By the way.
Larry Fitzgerald.
Oh, okay.
He's not on Bob Does
Larry
Sports,
David, though.
You said in,
It's true.
Do you mean in sports or in Bob Does Sports?
Well, I guess like if you count in Bob Does Sports trips because we saw him in Tahoe,
Oh.
so maybe. But
Jerome Bettis has a banger too.
yeah,
I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to have a romper.
No,
I don't think it's bad
I
at
don't
all.
either. A lot of times you have a romper, that means you're fit down low. I'm trying to
Yeah.
get in that.
I kind of have a big
Yeah,
ass.
you know who's got the like it goes in almost more than it
Perez.
does. Yeah,
Oh, he's
Perez's ass is
no
inverted.
that is wild.
I've never seen anything like that. He's like,
What is this conversation?
no, well, he said, I'm like, is it hard to like buy pants? He's like, well, the backside of me, not really, because my ass is literally flat as a pancake.
Bro,
It is.
We were in Scotland. FP didn't bring pants, and he just brought shorts. And we're like, it's gonna be fucking cold. And we're like, just go buy pants. He's like, yeah, they ain't gonna have my size out here.
Oh,
But anyway, speaking of, we've got a big episode coming out tomorrow, which will be coming out the same day, so we can talk about
Are we
it.
putting this out?
Wow.
I think we should put this out on Friday.
Why don't we?
We can put it on Friday.
put this out on-
Regardless, we can
Yeah,
talk about
the Guinness Challenge.
Is
It
it
is
okay? So you
challenge.
guys have been editing it. I have yet to see it, but
mainly-
Ticket
mainly
sent
the
me a
Ticket.
clip that was hysterical. Is it as good as we've advertised? Because when we were there, I kept saying it was going to be the greatest episode we've ever filmed,
know.
and Jet was like ready to throw me off the cliffs of Scotland.
Honestly, the reason I don't like what's it called?
calling your shot.
No, I don't like counting your chickens before they hatch.
Overhyping.
No, in the sense of like we could have flown home and lost all the footage, right? And we're just talking about how great a video is. On top of the fact that you were in Shields Camp's face telling them that we're making the greatest video of all time, and they've been making golf YouTube videos for the last 10 years, and they're like, what is this guy trying to tell us?
It is
At
phenomenal.
one point you turned to Rick and you were like, hey Rick, you ever heard of Stonkyville?
Yeah, I did say that.
I know.
He's like,
Hey,
"What's a
Rico."
stonk?"
He's like, no, I haven't. But
Stonkyville.
this was a ticket job. I've been going through it to do some trailer stuff, and I've been crying laughing at every single thing.
Is
I've
it
come
good,
across.
Tick?
Me,
It's Stonkyville.
Yeah.
Is
It
it
is.
stonk?
It
Is?
is. It's
Two-
good.
Give
two
you.
You were very
ways-
good in it.
Also, too, I think to see Rick in that element because he definitely has that side to him. Like Rick is a very fun guy, and his crew is a blast. So I think for people to see him in that element with us drinking, like you go out to the bar with him, he's a fucking blast. So for people to see that side of him, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and he was such a good he wanted to do it, and he was such a good sport about it, and like he was hilarious. So it comes out tomorrow, so it's gonna be pretty stuff.
Yeah, we've had challenges with people where like we know whether or not they're gonna commit before, and sometimes you almost feel kind of bad. But like Rick wanted to, like Rick was ready to go.
Yeah.
It was so fun that day filming. It was like seeing him involved. It was like legitimately like maybe my favorite day of the
Yeah.
entire trip.
Yeah.
It was just hysterical. We gotta keep the challenges going because now after this we're gonna be due for a challenge.
The
Very
two
good.
ways that I know that we have a great video is if Jet tells you that it sucks. Like if Jet starts off telling you like it's a really good video, but then I know he just keeps editing it throughout the week, so he sees it so much and then he pivots and he's like, this sucks. It's the worst video of all time. If he starts out saying it's good and then pivots to
Yeah, he did that with the donut video. He's like,
You're in good
there's
shape.
a couple of good moments and the rest is trash.
Right. And then the second way to tell is if I get 2 or more clips from either of them from the editing from Adobe
Before, yeah.
before, then I know it's gonna be good. So I got 1 from you, and then I got 2, I think, from you, to where it might be Stonkyville after all.
And the other thing is like I've been like going through the comments on like the donut challenge stuff.
Yeah.
People keep going like, where is Guinness Challenge? We need Guinness Challenge. Why are you teasing me? When is it going to be released? So it's hyped.
We play it the right way. Another thing I want to say is I don't think people fully understand how like the filming and the editing works in terms of like videos coming out every single day. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like we film a lot of videos and they just like we have a schedule, so we put it out when they're ready to be put out. We don't want to overdo it. We don't want to underdo it. We sit on some videos, and that's how it
We
works.
still have Canada content. We still have
Yeah, there's some
Scotland
good
content.
Canadian videos.
There's two more bangers. No, there is
Well, I mean,
there are
it's-
two long videos from Canada that
The one at Nick North.
That's the one. Yeah,
That's got to be
that's
special.
That's a stonker.
Yeah, we got a lot. We got a lot in the tank.
Yeah, we
but,
do.
But you're right. I mean, with the way that we do the videos now, not promising anything by any means, but it would be more realistic when we all go to Jupiter and are in the same place. Maybe we add on another person, and then we'll all be together to where we might be able to crank out more videos, which
Yeah.
I think in the long run is definitely our goal. All right, fellas, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time a little Q&A narrated by the Big Poppy.
All right, guys, welcome to the Q&A segment. First one comes from JPot93. What's the weirdest cameo request you've ever received? You don't got to throw names, just yeah.
Yeah, I've talked about it before. I had a cameo. They're not, to be honest, they're not that crazy. But this one was the craziest one I ever got. A guy legitimately asked me to divorce his wife for him, and he said that if it came from me, it would soften the blow. And I actually told the Wall Street Journal that, who called for an interview about cameos, and I told them that. So if you go to the Wall Street Journal, that is there, me talking about that. And the guy looked at me, he's like, "Don't you feel bad?" And I was like, yeah, like I
You did it?
I did it. I sure did.
Oh my god!
Oh my God!
Why
yeah,
would you
I-
do it? Why would
Hey,
you just
man.
not
Well,
cancel it? You just cancel it, and you can report it as like not a.
Well, part of me was thinking that he was doing it as a joke.
He asked you to do it and you did. I don't see any problem. with that.
I did it to where I kind of put it on the guy. Like I was like Lord knows you can't put up with Todd shit anymore. I don't blame you. So I kind of steered it more towards the guy, but no cameo left undone.
There's
Joe.
no way
Did
that
you
was
get a
real.
review?
And if
I don't-
That was
I don't
real, then you're
think-
doing her a favor.
Yeah, I don't think it
Did
was.
you get a review?
I don't know because once they go away, like they're kind of
If
done.
it was real, there's no way you softened the blow. If anything, you made the blow.
You would think.
worse.
I know. I know.
Bobby blows, ladies and gentlemen,
I in
coming
my
at you
head-
one divorce paper at a time.
In my head, there was no way that it wasn't a joke. Like
Oh,
there was
that's
no
tough.
way that it could be a joke. But yeah,
Tough scene.
I can only imagine what you were saying.
I did
Like,
it.
imagine if he was doing like his bachelor party ones for her. He's like, throughout every fight, anger, and blow up, I'll always be in your corner.
Fire again, Pop.
All right, next question comes from Matt_Rinaldi. Shout out _gang. When you guys all move to Florida, will you all join a men's softball league? Sort of like Bob's dad.
No.
I would do it.
I think that would be a shitload of fun.
I think it'd be a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be.
I'd like to
Have
see
you ever
you out
played
there.
softball? Or
Yeah, it ain't for me.
I
I feel like you'd be.
I got so excited like the first couple games of the season, and then everybody just didn't start showing up, and we lost all the games. And I'm just
I don't mind doing even like a bowling league, or we should do
bowling
some-
is fun.
That would
Bowling
be
I would
fun.
be in for. Bowling I would be in for. Tennis or pickleball I'd be in for.
We should do some.
Not softball. Softball, not for me.
It's somewhere you can
play
kind of
softball.
relax too. That's the fun thing about softball.
Ping
leagues,
pong.
is you can sort of just chill a lot of the time. Like they have like beer
A
league.
ping pong tournament like would be fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah, but it's not like a team. We want something where it's like a
That's true.
team. You know what I mean?
We do want that hang element too. Like
That's
we don't want to join a
softball.
basketball.
The
league.
softball
Softball
content
is
that
that
we
the
can-
Basketball
get the
league would be
dugout.
great. We would get
Basketball
us
would
back
be
in
too
shape.
intense.
It'd get us back in shape. We'd be gassed after the first play.
Yo, how would we run our offense? Like we have 5. Like,
Perez just
five.
stays on the perimeter.
Cuts, you'd be in the post.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
would,
You'd be our
100%.
big
I ain't a
man.
post player.
Would be our point guard.
You'd be in the post.
I think Jet looks like he's a
Me or
good,
you.
good point
I
guard.
think so. And you
Just
guys would be on
Fat
the
Perez
wings.
setting picks all day.
Yeah,
Just
dude.
Picks
Problem is-
hard as hell, dude.
That Perez is probably he would set a pick and then drop out and drain
no, I
it.
bet-
Perez,
Yeah.
he's got a shot.
I bet you
Yeah.
he could shoot. I bet you he could shoot.
He said he got that
The
splash.
thing is, they're not going to trust the roll. When he rolls to the hole, I think they're going to know that we're not dumping it down.
He's not a pick and roll guy. He's a pick and pop guy.
Yes,
Yeah.
because he's got to have
The
a
problem
shot.
is if they realized he had a shot, he'd be screwed because he would just like blanket him, and I don't think he's driving the
yeah,
lane
get up
anytime
into his
soon.
grill.
I think defense is where he becomes a big liability.
Yeah, we got to play zone.
I think he's getting
gotta play-
picked on.
We would play a
He
zone.
don't have that you don't have that height too,
would
so that's.
clog
You know
the
what?
paint.
You know what I would.
But
have
I think
to
he's
do?
got some splash.
I think he does too. I bet he's got a wet jumper.
I would have I'd even play like a box and one defense where the four of us on the pole, and then you have Cutsy just follow
Man to
around their
man,
best
yeah,
player
yeah,
and just
yeah.
have Cutsy just
Blanket
hassle the guy.
coverage. Yeah.
I would be
exactly-
fouled out by
be
the
a
second
menace, dude.
quarter.
You'd be fouled out.
I would
so
foul out by the second quarter.
We really should do so. It's a great question. We should do something like that.
All right, great question. Next question comes from Brian.Hurley99. Top 3, or just give your top 1, pet peeves on the golf course. What really gets under your skin, Joseph?
CPO.
I'll go
Slow play.
Slow play. Yeah.
Slow play?
Car path only is just
I'm trying to
criminal.
think of a little, like,
I'll give another one when they don't tell you they aerated the greens and you pay for that
Yeah.
frickin' tee time and then they just slide it in there. By the way, there's aerated greens today. Last week we aerated. That is a bang job.
oh yeah.
When they don't tell you before, like, and you make, yeah, they need to tell you.
Mine would be no halfway house. Like there's some places we've played in LA where like it's so hot in the summer and like you need something. And sometimes you don't come by a halfway
How about
house.
vending machines that don't work on the course?
That's a tease. Those stink.
That is
yeah, 'cause
awful.
You get up and then they have the sign on it. There's
There's
like
a
a lock
classic
on it.
one is at
They had one
Where
somewhere
is-
we were. We were
there's a
somewhere
place
in
where we used
Virginia
to
they
play
had one.
Alhambra Golf Course. At the end of like the 9, there's like a row of vending machines right before the driving range, and I went to each one, and it was either all sold out or it wouldn't take the money, and it
You're
was
right.
like a Gatorade machine.
You're right. You're
and I
absolutely right.
needed that Gatorade so bad. It was the biggest tease ever.
I forgot about that. You were 1,000% right. They do it because I was thinking when you said that, I was trying to think of where you're.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sucks.
He's right. All right, Papa. Let's fire in another one.
This one comes from Nate2802. Who are you taking in the Ryder Cup, U.S. or Europe?
I like taking like who
Yeah,
who
who-
I
who
think
do
is
you-
gonna win.
Correct.
Europe.
Okay.
Yeah. Europe has some fucking. First of all, you want to know? Actually, I think the U.S. Their captain is taking this thing tremendously too seriously. He's up there like talking as if he's like in the FBI. Have you
Zach
seen
Johnson?
Zach Johnson up there like talking? First of all, he didn't pick Keegan, which is a big problem.
Terrible.
Yeah, terrible.
And he's it's got the U.S. team has a weird vibe to it, in my opinion, this year, especially when he sits up there and talks. And Europe is amazing. They have
Rahm.
Rory, they have Rahm, they have Victor Hovland, they have
that young kid, what's his name?
yeah, they have Ludwig. They
Ludwig.
got, I don't know. I it just feels I don't know. I think Europe's gonna win.
It's so sad even hearing Keegan talk about he wanted to make that Ryder Cup so bad.
Deserved to make it.
He really,
It was
really
horseshit.
did, man. He deserved to make that team, and he handled it with class. But man, he wanted it so bad, and that's our guy. I'm so sick about it. Obviously, I'll still be rooting for Team USA, but man,
We're rooting
that was
for USA for sure.
stuff like that. Do you root for your? Do you root for?
Normally I root for USA, but now I just could care less.
Yeah.
I actually will. I shouldn't say care less. I will watch it. I think it'll be entertaining to watch. But like that to me was such a screw job, and nothing against Justin Thomas. I think he's a great golfer, but I mentioned this before. I think it's like it just takes away from. Like, what is the point now? It's like it's a popularity contest because it should be merited based on the play and based on how you've played throughout the year. You win you basically, if you're not in the points, you should win a position to play on that team. And no one, I think, deserved it more. Keegan won 2 tournaments. He was top 10 FedEx Cup finalist. I think he played great. He deserved to be there.
I agree.
And I'm not taking away from anybody who's there. Like, kudos to all of them, and we'll be rooting for them. But it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, especially when it's our guy. Like, that would have been so cool to root for him. And by the way, if he had been on that team, no one would be riding harder for Team USA than these 3 gentlemen right here.
The day before all the players found out, I texted Keegan and his caddy Scotty Vale in a group chat, and I was like, Keegan, just so you know, like if you don't make the team, Bob the Sports Faithful will riot. And then I got a call right after from Scotty Vale, and he's like, hey man, he's like, just want to let you know he already found out he did not make the team.
Oh,
And I was like, oh fuck, I'm so sorry. And he's like, it's not your fault. Like you didn't know. And then Keegan texted back and said it. But man, I just from the beginning of the year he was talking about making the team, and that's how bad he wanted to make that team.
I liked. They both made social media posts, Keegan and Scotty, and they were all very classy. But you could tell they had like the perfect mix of like class versus like I belong there, and it was I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I wonder if those guys who didn't make it, they're gonna say they're rooting for Team USA. I wonder if they really are.
Yeah, that story
You know
about
what I
Keegan
mean?
not unpacking his suitcase since the 2012 one
Sad,
is the
man.
craziest thing I've ever heard. Did you know that, Tick?
Yeah, I think you
At
told me
Medina?
about it.
And the other thing is, Cutsy, it's in
in Rome.
so it's at like 1 in the morning. So I don't even think.
Oh,
we're gonna,
that sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's gonna be
like
early.
the final tee times are like at like 7 a.m. our time.
That's like the British Open
Oh.
yeah, it's just
Oh.
or the Open.
All right, Poppy, let's do one more to close us down.
One more. All right. This one comes from Freezy10787. Will we ever see a guest appearance from a family member on the channel? Perhaps Mr. Burger, Bigger Ticket, or even Joseph's brother? Would we ever see someone like your dad on the show?
I feel like that would be the first option.
For sure.
I mean, he had the pickleball episode.
Oh,
He was
yeah,
tremendous
true.
in it, though.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
Tremendous.
True.
People always saying, people always asking that it wouldn't work out. People always want the Jupiter Jackal stuff to go on, like a Bob the Sports or that be documented, but it wouldn't be the same. Yeah, I mean, I could see him coming in. The problem is he just doesn't golf, so like, I think he's hysterical, and I would love to have him on. I think he would be good. I think I'm gonna get him involved in the next Breezy that we have. He's gonna come to it. So I'll definitely get him in the mix for that. So you'll see him in like the takes from the Breezy Invitational and stuff. Bigger Ticket I would get any day of the week. I get a kick out of Bigger Ticket.
We just get the two of them caddying.
Yeah,
Caddying
something.
for your dad is a caddy, or just even popping in the like the golf cart cam. Like,
Yeah,
that'd be great too.
Yeah.
Because he's just such a
I
character.
tell you who I would have on. I'd have Kevin Stubbe.
I was gonna say.
Oh,
I was
Evan
gonna say the
Stubbe.
dad.
Kevin
dude.
Stubbe would be electric because he's actually a decent golfer and he's golfed for forever. But having him in there with Perez as his son
Yeah.
would be
Yeah, and he can actually.
I'd love
hilarious.
to see what they talk about. Like I'm in the cart.
That would
Should a
be
father-son
to me. That to me is the no-brainer.
We would do. We should do like a parents where we get the parents involved in something like.
Well, I would actually.
That'd be
My
hilarious.
dad doesn't golf, so I'd have my uncle Nick.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
to,
a Father's Day episode.
some degree would be funny. Yeah, I think that'll be good.
We could get Jerry with his mom.
Oh my God, that was
Gerard,
Joe Tears number
and
2.
I'm out here. What did she say? I'm out here with picky bags.
pee
Bob.
Pee-pee bags.
pee pads,
Pee-pee pads. Yeah.
I'm angry, Bob.
I got a fucking.
I'm aggravated, Bob.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
aggravated.
He told me he's gonna buy me a house.
Now, what's a 2-story, Miss Gilphone? A 2-story. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that does it. Nice episode there for the boys. Again, we don't have FP with us. FP, you are missed. We love you, pal. He is somewhere in Virginia right now, probably on a golf course, but soon, end of the year, maybe a little after that, Jupiter, Florida. Boys are all together. Folks, we love you. We appreciate you. Stay tuned. A lot of content on the way. Bob the Sports Podcast. We'll see you next time. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up.